to the Step Rockets live chat. It is the 24th of July, and it is a nice, steamy, muggy day here in Minnesota. And Brady, you're in a different location. Is this undisclosed location, or
Undisclosed location
you don't want to share where you're at there?
in the
Or
basement of the Batmobile. No, I am currently in my parents' home, the home which I grew up in.
is that your
Not
bedroom when you were a child?
No, this was my sister Brittany's bedroom. It didn't look like this. Uh, but yeah, I got they gave dude a dresser and a nightstand. Looks like I got some stuff here. Not sure whose that is.
Are
That's
you in
not
a
my
Herman
stuff.
Miller chair?
My stuff is there.
I bought this expensive studio chair, and it's nothing but squeaky. I'm not happy with my purchase.
Is that a Herman Miller?
No, this is a Phantom. I can't remember what it's called. It's something fancy. It's like a studio mixing chair, but it's
Oh, really?
the noisiest chair I've ever bought.
Who can
Oh,
weigh in on a
wow.
Herman Miller? I'm
I think
intrigued.
they're over. I think they're overpriced um, ergonomic chairs. And what we had a chiropractor that really loves them. What you have to do, I guess, is you really have to get in there. You
Hmm.
really gotta really get your butt back, and so that lumbar support can get you going. But what are you gonna do when you're mixing? Are you gonna be sitting, or are you gonna be like on your stuff? You know,
Definitely
so
hunching.
yeah, you're gonna hunch.
My
So
chair is a Carl Tatz Phantom Focus chair.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be ergodynamic, like you're saying, Brady, but it's slightly uncomfortable. I guess it does keep me sitting up straight, but I was recording vocals last night, and it was just squeaking up a storm over here.
what were you slaying down? What were you singing, dude?
I was working on a new Coyote song.
Yeah.
I forced myself to do some music yesterday. I've been focusing on things like other things, podcasts and family business. So yeah, I had a gig that was canceled yesterday due to the severe weather, and ended up at home and wanted to do something musical. So kind of worked my way back down here. I don't know if you guys are like this, but sometimes I kind of have to trick myself into going to the studio. Like if I can come down here to do something else and then end
Hmm.
up doing music, or maybe I think I'm gonna like work on one song and end up working on a completely different tune. Um, Ever happened to you?
No, I just let the guilt get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I think actually Chloe said this, and when I was visiting Jacob in Berkeley, and maybe not, or maybe it was high school, or I can't really remember, but she said we were all chatting, and she's like, "Do you ever feel like if you're not playing guitar, you're just wasting all your time?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do feel, I do feel like that." So it's kind of like morphed into anything other, you have to do all this other stuff to live right now, to make money. But there's a slight hinge of, you know, that's always been in me since I've been like 12 years old of I should be working on music. And whenever I'm working on music, even if I don't get anything done, I feel the most fulfilled with any type of work, that I'm doing.
How about you, Johnny?
That was beautifully put, Brady. Um, I find it's a routine thing, and whenever I take a little break and I come back down, I find it a little more challenging. But I, you know, don't have a hard time sitting down to work on music. I very much enjoy it and treasure any time I can do it. My hard part is not getting distracted by surfing reverb.com for gear that I don't need.
Sometimes when I go to the studio to work, I just end up buying a plugin, and then it takes me like 45 minutes to like download the plugin and
Yeah,
then install
totally.
the plugin and then activate the license, and then before you know it, it's time to do something else, and I
Yep.
haven't gotten anything done.
Yep.
and then troubleshooting inevitably. I bought a UA plugin and it was like wasn't showing up in my DAW.
Got to go activate it in the console.
Yeah, well, I needed to do about 45 minutes of updating before that all took.
Dude, do you have the UADX subscription?
No, too many plugins. Too many
it's so worth
compressors
it.
for me.
Man, it's so worth it. That's the best subscription. They keep updating things. They keep they add amps and all this other stuff. I can't recommend that one enough.
I'm good on the plugins. I have more than enough plugins to do what I need to do. At this point, they're just a distraction and a tax write-off for me.
Whenever I get my bane is whenever I get frustrated with anything apart or mixing, I'll just look up Reddit. I'm just just check this out really quick, and just and then I'll go down some hole for 5 minutes and what am I
Reddit.
doing?
Okay, so you do have a social media vice of some sort, because
I do. Yep, I go on Reddit.
Reddit. Why Reddit?
I don't know, because at first I joined Reddit because of
you're a Redditor. You got a profile.
Yeah, I made a profile because I wanted to have the fan fiction or the fan interplay on this fantasy novel that I really like called the Stormlight Archive. And they have all this fan art and, ideas of where the story's going, and then
Nerd
you can
alert.
really dive into it.
Love that.
Reddit. Great. I didn't know. I didn't peg you as a Redditor.
Yeah, and then now you look up, cats, and and of course there's political stuff on there, and just but also I don't know. Yeah, so that's my bane. I don't know. It's not helping. It doesn't help me. I don't learn anything.
Johnny, what social media of choice have you been using these days?
I am.
You guys are pretty.
I consume Reddit media, but I am not a Redditor. I don't think I have an account. I can definitely go down a deep, dark rabbit hole of which microphone is preferred and why.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
today I was looking up everybody's favorite mixing engineer, and there's a lot of good ones out there, it turns out.
Who's your favorite?
I'm really into Serban Ganea, I think is how you pronounce his name. He does almost everything top 40 right now.
Serban Ganea? I've never even heard
Yeah,
of him.
he's Romanian, but lives in Canada.
Just a real quick fun fact back to the social media thing. I think I still have John's picture as my profile picture on Yelp.
My picture
What?
Yeah.
on Yelp.
Yeah, your picture is my profile picture.
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want mine on there, leaving all those negative reviews.
What?
All those negative reviews.
It's John at a Christmas party, and he's got these huge holiday glasses on. He's making some really dumb face.
Can you pull that one up?
I'm looking for it. Yeah, let me see if I can get that for you.
Is Yelp your preferred social media platform?
Do you go to Yelp just to write bad reviews when you're upset at the
Sometimes
diner?
I do. Yeah. Sometimes that's happened.
This waiter took 10 minutes to
So
get us our
dovetail.
water,
No,
and
no, I'm not that petty. Come on, man. So, like you, Brady, I recently had my 10-year anniversary, or I'm having my 10-year anniversary. You recently had yours.
I did, yeah.
I went to Cove. It was Cove in Edina, and it was an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy there.
So, I didn't.
Let's
I
hear
didn't
your
leave-
review of Cove.
I didn't leave them a bad review, and I actually left the server a sizable tip because we made her cry on accident. I didn't sorry, I take that back. I didn't make her cry. They were having a hard time. They were having a real hard time. The managers were not helping the cause. We started out, I'm gluten free, so that creates issues. But they're supposed to have a really good serving staff that's really knowledgeable about the menu. Long story short, like we sat there for over 2 hours and we had like two dishes. They were wrong. We had like literally five things sent back to the kitchen for various issues. One being not gluten free, and then the server thought it was gluten free, but the manager didn't. So a bit of a
Oh,
shuffle there. Then we ordered like a sushi roll, and then it just like didn't come. So it was terrible. It was a
was it
terrible time.
busy?
It was like a Monday night, so it was busy for a Monday, but it wasn't like, we weren't waiting for a table busy. They should be able to handle that. Yeah, I can't find this picture. Lucky for you guys. Lucky for John. Oh, I spoke too soon.
Oh yeah.
That's your oh my god.
That's my Yelp profile picture.
When did that happen?
Like
John, do you
probably
feel
10
like
years
this
ago.
has crossed the line?
We crossed the
Um,
Rubicon.
if you were leaving negative reviews with my likeness involved, I would definitely have an issue. But
Okay. Well, I do every time I leave a negative review, I also leave a positive review because to balance out
Oh, the
the
karma.
karma, because I
and
feel bad. Because when I have a bad experience and then I leave a bad review, and it has to be particularly egregious for me to leave a bad review.
Yeah.
do you
Then
sign
I go,
my name or your name with that review?
it's under my name.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I did this in the band van at some point.
Uh,
You know,
John,
it doesn't really,
where are
that,
you in that
I
picture,
I want to
John?
know that too.
it could be me. It looks like there's a swimming pool in the background.
Fun.
This may have been at our escapades in California for that wedding we did once upon a
Ooh.
time.
That wasn't Christmas.
Oh, John. John, do you want to talk about that?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah, there you go, Johnny.
I can do that.
There's a swimming pool and a gentleman standing in the darkness back there. I don't know where that is.
Taking a leak.
I think you were maybe doing a little pool cleaning. Definitely in California. With some palm trees back there. So John had a rough night once upon a time when we went to California for the wedding. And I just remember it because that was the time at LAX, it was under construction, and I saw John C. Riley at the airport.
I
I did.
remember that well because I was so excited to see a celebrity in the wild, and I was doing something. You're like, "Oh, dude, John C. Riley," and all I saw was some guy in a hat walking away. I didn't really see him.
What do you remember from that trip, John, if anything?
I remember the wedding we played was very fun until it wasn't
Oxnard.
fun anymore. I remember you driving on the grass of the wedding venue and the wedding planner coming out and going, "No, absolutely not."
Yeah, you guys got a kick out of that. That's been a running joke ever since.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been almost a decade.
Yeah, that was
It
a
has
that was
been.
a that was our first trip to That was my first trip to California, I think, since I was like a 2-year-old. That was my first big boy adult trip to California. So I was fresh out of the Midwest, parking on the lawn, not really hip to the fact that they probably spent thousands of dollars just to have a lawn.
Uh, uh,
Uh, you know, that's kind of the West Coast thing. In Wisconsin and Minnesota, we just park on, you just park where you can fit your car and you park on the lawn. It's a party, right? Just back
yeah,
her
and
up.
what's wild is being back in Minnesota from being in the desert is like I was taking a walk around this neighborhood and looking around and really realizing how big all these lots are. Just every single house has a yard and all this space. And granted, in Arizona, there's neighborhoods with that, but most, a lot of the places don't have that much space for their yard. Like both of you guys, there'd probably be, at least two homes on your lots.
And be
So
rocks. There was a lot of rock yards.
there are, yeah, which is a good thing because water is an issue there. There definitely shouldn't be watering the lawns.
Yeah, don't you do that?
A little bit. We water the backyard.
Guilty.
Guilty as charged.
It's nice to have some grass, I bet, huh?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep, it's
Do
amazing.
you miss the grass when you're there? Like just laying
When?
out, sprawling out on the grass, going to a field.
Yeah, I don't really do that too much, but I do miss the grass. Yeah,
I was
I
worried
miss.
about like pesticides and stuff here because you get those huge like soccer fields without any daisies or dandelions and like or the schoolyards. I'm like, what are they putting on this stuff? What are they spraying on the shit to make it so there's no,
Yeah,
one type of grass on there? Uh,
yeah.
anyway, yeah, yeah. Well, we're glad to have you back, Brady. It's been fun having you. How was your guys' show? You had a Brady Gray show.
We did. We played at Astor Cafe last weekend. It was really fun. It was really. I've always wanted to play that venue because the venue,
You never played
for
there
anybody
before?
that no, mm-mm.
Oh wow.
The venue for people that haven't been there is you look at it's a smaller cafe and you look at the stage and you can kind of see the Mississippi and the Stone Arch Bridge out of the back windows and it's really gorgeous. It
Hmm.
was a ton of fun. It was a ton of fun to play music and have some family there and some friends. It was really great.
What has changed since, you've been here, or you've been gone, what, 5 years now?
Yeah, almost five.
What is the
In
vibe
ter-
difference downtown or in St. Anthony, Maine than it was when you lived here?
I was driving downtown. I don't know. I think this is a, a, a shift. I can't really tell a strong shift of a vibe difference other than maybe it's a little bit more busy, more people. But I was in Denver playing a couple gigs downtown, and then I was in Minneapolis playing downtown. And what I noticed is it's really fast. Like everybody's like on a scooter or a electric bike, and they're just drunk on the sidewalks, just
Scooting. Scooting.
just scooting. And the so that's different, you know.
Do you think, John, it's because Brady's older or just because things have changed?
Well, I mean, that would be my observation when I go out in public now is everybody is young and I'm old. I don't know how that happened,
You're
but
still the baby in the band, though,
I will always be the baby in the band.
unless Teddy's there. But he's not
Is
really
Ted? How much younger is Ted than you, John? A
Couple
couple years.
years, yeah.
Yeah, a couple years.
Did
Yeah.
Teddy
Wow.
come to the gig at Astor?
No, he is
No.
a new father. Shout
Yeah,
out to
he just turned
Ted
8.
Oh, I did
and
not know
a
that.
1.5-month-old child.
Oh, he's
Ted and Meg.
he's in the thick of it now, huh?
Oh yeah.
Shout out Ted, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Play that baby some step rock. It's gonna be okay.
Ted is gonna be like the best dad.
Ted
Just
would be a
know it.
great dad. Yep. Ted would be,
Ted's
I
gonna
guess
be a good dad.
tour's over for Ted, I guess.
Yeah, right. He'll put that baby in some good daycare. He's off 2 weeks.
One of the things I think I've noticed going down there, I had the same feeling too, Brady, when I was down there. I had a gig there about a month ago, and I felt that way
In
too.
downtown.
Yeah, I think that's because the bike lanes and just it's harder to drive too, and there's a lot of construction this year. Boy, is there a lot of freaking construction this year. It's like they're trying to spend all the money in 3 months. Am I right, John? Eh?
Uh,
You get out of the city much?
no, I mean, my road right now is completely ripped up and I
Yeah.
can't park on it. But
You got to get.
we just sound like a bunch of geriatrics right now.
No, no, no.
Oh, the
There's a
construction
lot
out
All the
there.
construction is
There's
not
more
be happening.
construction this year than there ever has been at one time. Everything's under construction. 169.
That's great. That's
490.
great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, 494
Why?
is always
Roads,
under
all
construction.
this is
Don't you think they could
wonderful.
plan it so we do one thing, then we stagger it and do another thing instead of?
No, because
No,
we only
it's-
have half a year of good construction
Yeah.
time.
You gotta do it when you gotta do it, and the city is growing. There's so many people, and those 169's tiny.
And people got to go
Yeah.
fast, like we talked about.
They gotta go fast. They gotta scoot.
Yep. Boot scoot.
Humbug.
No. It's called planning and management. You got to stagger it so that you can get one place to the next without
Well,
impeding
how
An
about
on.
you go down to
armchair
the city
expert.
planning commission?
It's not just me. There's a sentiment. There's a growing sentiment in the Twin Cities. Chime in. Come on, someone back me up if you feel like this has been an exceedingly stressful construction year. Let me hear you. I feel like that, but I think that just due to the busyness of the construction, I think more people are taking bikes and scooters downtown, and then the bike lane. Yeah, I think that's contributing to the over. I mean, that St. Anthony Main area is under construction as well, so it's a little bottlenecked up down there. But yeah, have you been to any shows this year, John? I'm going to see Charlie Crockett at Surly Field in August here, coming up about a month from now. I haven't been to a lot of shows.
The Sacred Souls at the Palace Theater, and it was lovely. Check them out. They're like the top of the Daptone record label right now.
I think I recently saw their Tiny Desk concert.
Yeah, they're very talented. They got a cool thing going
Never
on.
heard of them.
No.
Yeah, have you been to the Fillmore yet?
No,
Neither have I.
I haven't even been to the Armory.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Armory. I'm good. I've
Okay.
been to half a dozen shows there, maybe more.
You'd be a fan of it if you were performing there.
Well, yeah, of course I would be. But it sounds terrible. It's got a really, really boomy, echoey. I did see Sting and Shaggy there. That was okay because they had the stage about halfway down the way there, you know. So it was a smaller
Oh, they
footprint
shrunk
in
the
the.
venue.
Yeah, they can move the stage. So that sounded okay. But I saw Queens of the Stone Age there, and it was a mess. I also saw Tyler Childers there. Saw Vampire Weekend and Chicano Batman, and also saw King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard there.
Cool.
So the softer shows are better. Queens of the Stone Age was terrible. So Lord Huron played there on Tuesday. I decided to opt out since I'd seen them before. Speaking of geriatrics, I don't want to be paying that kind of money to be standing on a slab of concrete for 3.5 hours.
I love sitting down when I attend shows now. So I know I got.
I've actually always liked that.
Sitting down.
'Cause, yeah, or like having a seat because I really enjoy just like watching the show instead of being like in the atmosphere of the crowd. Because I always get so intrigued by how the stage is set up, and I get really intrigued by how, you know, like how the guitars are passed from the techs and what the techs are doing. Like that always like really intrigues me. And if I'm like in the crowd, it's about like being in the crowd and like doing that. But I like watching how the show is executed.
Yeah, that's the other issue with the Armory is like it's one of those venues where it's concrete, so it's kind of rough on the bod after about an hour and two. But and then if you're up in front, if you get a good spot, the way that it's like set up, if you have to go to the bathroom or get a beverage, you're like you can't get back to where you were.
Bag, you gotta hold it.
You gotta hold it. Just go, man. Yeah, no, but Surly Field is probably great. My favorite venue in the summertime. But after all those festivals we played and stuff, I feel rather spoiled. It's hard to enjoy them. Like I did Firefly Festival, for example. Oh,
Hey,
Hey, April.
Gucci,
the star of the show.
what do you want?
I went to my first festival as like a patron at Joshua Tree, and it was tough. I like camped. I was like, what is going on here? People just camp and you don't have a place to stay. Like, where's the back? I was like so spoiled. I was like, how do you people do it?
No golf cart rides to the next stage.
No golf cart rides. I had like all of a sudden I had downtime that I just had to sit outside.
No free
It was.
beverages.
Yeah, no free beverages. You had to pay for everything. It was crazy. No, I was sitting outside. It was like a downtime, and Joshua Tree, in the middle of the desert, and it was May, and it was quite hot. I was reading a book, and all of a sudden I heard this just huge explosion. And then, it's a festival, so everybody kind of tweaked out, like, what happened? There's an explosion. And then I found out that since it was so hot, that there's an ice truck, next to wherever, and the tires on the trailer blew up because it was so hot.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that must have been kind of freaky. Did anyone panic or
I mean, somebody must have.
just
But
kind of looking
I was
around?
all right. Yeah, I was
Brady did not panic. The dude abides. Yeah, the only time I've ever panicked at a show like that is, well, I guess there's a couple of times, so we don't need to mention all of them, but Rage Against the Machine at Lollapalooza 2010 got pretty scary, actually. They had to stop the concert like a dozen times to make sure people were safe, and they had the Chicago mounted police at the barricade because people were trying to rush the gate, and I think there were about 100,000 people at the festival that day, something
Wow.
like that. There's probably 50,000 plus in the crowd, or 75, hard to say. It was dangerous, but yeah, it depends on what show I'm at. Like, there's some shows where it's hard. You probably don't want to sit down at a Rage Against the Machine show. It just be
Sure.
odd. Like Saw
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins at like Tool would be good to sit down at, even though they're heavy. But like, yeah, sometimes it's just like it doesn't feel right. If you're like at Jose Gonzalez or something like that, you probably want to be sitting down. Kind of depends on the show for me.
I was standing though at. I take back my statement I was at the Jacob Collier show, one of his concerts.
Oh, that must have been cool.
And I was standing, and that was actually probably one of the peak concert experiences because he's probably like the pinnacle of a musician in our age. And that show was amazing. He was so good, and I've seen him twice now, and he would just go through all these different genres and just kill them. His band was awesome, and then he was just so far beyond his amazing band. Just musicality and singing, and then the whole crowd like is a choir, and like brings tears to your eyes. Just you're in. However many people were in that show, was probably like 5,000 or something, and everybody's singing in a 4-part harmony. It's crazy. It's awesome. And like so much, I've never been to a concert that brings that level of collective joy up. You've been to a concert where it's exciting and it's fun, but that's one of the few concerts where like there's a sense of joy and happiness, and the vibration of the whole place went up. It was pretty magical.
Do you listen to his records, or was his more of a live show kind of an artist?
Yeah, I didn't really want to go to his first show because that was before Did Jesse 4 came out, and all of his records were just too much noise.
I have a hard time
too...
listening to like a whole Jacob Collier record.
His last record, his Did Jesse 4, is actually pretty pleasant to listen to if you...
That's the only one I've really spent a significant amount of
Yeah.
time with. But I appreciate him as an artist for sure. I mean, he's,
Yeah,
he's
totally.
Genius level.
Yeah, his live shows are way more absorbable than his records are.
John, other than the artists you mentioned, what have you been listening to?
Oh, let's see. Mr. Farts.
Is that an AI artist?
I don't know if there's a real person.
that a
behind
real?
it, but oh yeah, this is
That's right up there with Diarrhea Planet.
well, Mr. Farts is targeted at children. Diarrhea Planet
Oh.
is not.
I wonder if there's still a band. The trajectory with that type of name, it can't be good.
Diarrhea Planet. I think you're forever locked into the college circuit there with a name like that.
Yeah. Mr. Farts. Okay, so what's
Exactly what you think it would be.
Really?
Um,
You're
a
subjecting your
lot of
children to
fart
that, or are
sound
they
effects. He
subject?
does covers of Happy Birthday and all, your favorites, and then some new original material, and the children just love it. But we have a 3-song limit because,
Oh my
yeah.
God, this is real. With hit singles and EPs like "I Pooped My Pants" and "I've Got a Stinky Bum Bum."
Yep. That's the one.
The farts on the bus.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cutting edge.
John, do you have a song that's the most
Yeah,
tolerable?
Yeah, which one's your favorite, John?
By Mr. Farts?
Correct. Yeah.
No. My tolerance level is pretty low there, but you want to know what I've been listening to? I mean, there you have it.
As a mixer, how are the records sounding?
Fine. I don't look to them for a whole lot of
Inspiration.
inspiration, but
How did he get
like the
that snare
production was
sound?
interesting. I
I
always
see
think, how did he get that fart sound? Did he sample his own mouth or own bottom?
Have you seen that video where the guy does the hand farts of Don't Speak? You should look that up. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Maybe
Grow
that's.
up, Brady.
I see they got a reggae farts record here, John. Are you hip to that one?
Well, funny you bring that up because I just got a text from our daycare lady who I made privy to Mr. Farts, and she said, "This is my favorite one."
Wow. The farts on the end and the offbeats.
Making farts funky.
Okay. Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot. Have you listened to much Peppa Pig? Peppa Pig?
No, Lucy's pretty bluey heavy. And the
Yeah.
Bluey soundtrack is actually pretty well done by Joff Bush. Joff.
Okay. Okay.
Shout out to all the Joffs out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good soundtrack, so highly recommend that.
I was gonna say if you're ever looking to do a cue for a children's album or the Peppa Pig stuff is exquisitely mixed and recorded. It's actually quite impressive, really. Like the engineering on it is quite exquisite.
Natalie keeps bugging me to get more of the children's prompts for our production and writing, and just not in that circuit.
I've yet to see a children's prompt.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I just
You don't want to make a ton of money? You
No,
check out the
I mean, there's other
monthly
ways.
streaming on Mr. Farts. It's pretty up there.
So we don't do YouTube at my house for the kids. That's for me. I see Mr. Farts is on Spotify though, so I'm excited to see your 2025 Spotify Wrapped this year. Should be.
I try to go to private browsing before I do any children's music because I just don't want it to
You don't
corrupt
want
my
it clogging
algorithm.
up. Yeah.
My algorithm's all messed up on Spotify.
What is it right now, Brady? What's your top 10?
Well, I use it for break music at my gigs,
Oh.
so it's a bunch of Jason Mraz or whatever is like the
Whitney Houston's?
playlist. Yeah, whatever the playlist I got going on. I switched to Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds better and
Does sound better.
and it's worth it.
But
But I
they do
still
have
have
a
Spotify.
high quality option on Spotify.
Yeah, I do. It still sounds Apple still sounds better. The one that sounds the best is that Qobuz, like QBUZ or something. I don't know. That sounds the best, but their platform isn't as great, and it was kind of messing with my UAD. But that sounds amazing in the car when I had that.
There's been a lot of I've seen. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This has been always a trend to hate on Spotify for the amount of money that they pay, whether it's like memes or whatever. But I feel like it's really starting to gain some momentum. Have you seen that on your feed, like whether it's Instagram or just like in the ether? Because I feel like people are getting really tired, especially with the AI music that's coming out, and then Spotify's really embraced that ostensibly. So yeah, just kind of curious to what you guys think about that, because I've seen people even um, say, just take your music off of Spotify and just just go to physical copies, just go to records. And I know there's a couple of like Americana artists that are doing that, that are like, they don't even have like a social media presence. I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of punk rock. It's like old school. They might have a website maybe, but like they don't post on Instagram, they don't have a TikTok, they don't put their stuff on Spotify. It's just old school.
I'm a little torn because I think that as a band, we owe Spotify a lot.
Yeah.
We got playlisted and got our music spread in a way that we never would have been able to do on our own. And
Good call.
so I can't completely hate Spotify for that. But, at the same time, the luck of getting playlisted and all of that is luck to a certain degree. And like, they really have a lot of sway and control over the modern music industry in that way. And so like, yeah, it would be cool to boycott them and go like strictly Bandcamp, as I've seen some people do. But then how are you gonna then like if you and boycott social media, then how are you gonna find your new audience and get yourself out there? It's tricky. Catch 22.
I think it's going towards, as most things do, like you have all this concentrated platforms, and then as they grow, people then fracture out of them. So I think Spotify is going to come to a point where it fractures, and you'll have people like you're saying, Josh, where it's not even, going to use it at all, to there's probably going to be a platform that, has no AI music, and then people are going to silo out just like they do with social media
Or
and
music genres.
Yeah, music genres, and then they'll have like a couple of platforms that they enjoy listening to, and then everything kind of silos out for people. But
Tribe society.
I think Spotify will eventually be. I've always kind of thought that as it grows, it already lost its essence. Like Spotify will be like Facebook.
Yeah. I
Where
think
it's
there's
like,
a life cycle to those things, right? Is what you're kind
yeah,
of saying.
yeah.
Eh,
It was cool, and then now it's only your grandparents that use it, and now it's all ads and algorithms. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
shout
so
out
they'll.
to MySpace and Tumblr real quick.
Well,
What
I
was
was
it?
going to mention,
What was the other one? This is Pyroscope or Periscope?
Periscope. Yeah,
Yeah,
Vine,
Vine.
Fine.
Yes.
Matthew King, shout out. Um, I was going to mention, we owe a lot. We definitely owe a lot to Spotify, but also SoundCloud. Like when we were really taking off, SoundCloud was king, and that was where Hype Machine did most of its aggregation. But they kind of missed the monetization boat. It seemed like, or they
They,
didn't position
Well,
themselves.
they got on it and then people didn't like it anymore.
But that was kind of after Spotify had kind of started to gain some traction in the space, though, right? Like they had probably a bigger user base by the time SoundCloud had monetized, from what I remember.
I think what was big was still when it was broken up were all those blogs. The blogs fed SoundCloud and everything like that, and they were the decentralized gatekeepers of the music industry for
Yeah.
like 4 years. And then now the blogs have less power, and now the centralized gatekeepers for making you money is a playlist, which is the easiest way, and those are curated by once again, like back in before bloggers or whatever, you have a handful or maybe 15 real tastemakers that can actually move the needle for artists.
I think SoundCloud did so well to blogs because of like the layout, right? The user experience was like really conducive to posting
Yeah.
that HTML into like the website or into your blog. It made it super seamless and easy, and then everything aggregated to SoundCloud. But then I feel like
That's why
Spotify,
you couldn't. That's why you couldn't charge.
right, right, and then but I feel like then Spotify started to take over just because of the quality of the user experience, which is something that I think Apple is lacking, which is strange because, you know, I've had to use Microsoft products over the last couple of years doing some podcasting things and some business stuff, and it's miserable. It reminds me kind of that like valley between the user experience of Apple and then the user experience of Spotify. And like I love the quality of Apple, and I like I like their ecosystem, but the user in experience is just not the same as Spotify. I feel like that's what they really do well.
Yeah, after using Apple and then going to
You got
Spotify, I think that the thing that Spotify has is it's a better recommendations. I don't think now that the interface is that much better.
yeah, you get used
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, I get used to it, and it's actually laid out pretty simple, but it doesn't recommend really great things for me.
Well, I was going to say, the other thing that SoundCloud and Spotify have that Apple doesn't have is that social media aspect to it too, where um, you have the play count. Like we don't even see the play counts on the Apple stuff, which
Which is,
I have mixed feelings about. You know,
I think it's a plus.
do you?
Because you'll
Who's
go to
pros and cons?
Spotify and be like, oh, well, I should listen to this song. I should like this song because it's got,
Yeah,
X amount. But in Apple, it's just like, oh, this one's first. I like the third one the best. There's not that peer pressure aspect to it.
you still rank the songs though. Like they have
Mhm.
the top played song. But you're right. I think that play count does influence my view or opinion of the song before I even hit play.
Yeah,
Agreed.
And
yeah.
but on the other hand, just to be devil's advocate, oftentimes there's some validity to that play count.
Oh, totally,
Like
totally.
you go down to the one that has 2,000, whether the one that has 2 million. It's like, yeah, typically the one with 2 million is a better track, just catchier, or you know, um, yeah, hits the spot. So it's kind of a mixed bag. But I do miss those days of discovery on a record, where yeah, you had to kind of go through the whole record, and you might, if you didn't, you might miss something really cool. Like sometimes they put, back in the day, used to put singles on like the eighth track, or like the seventh
Third
track.
track.
Well, usually, yeah, you're right.
Always
In the
number
ni-
three.
in the '90s, it was really that was the lead singles number three, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Like the warm up. I mean, Siamese Dream is the one that I keep thinking of. There were some other records that didn't do that, like Nirvana's Nevermind. Smells Like Teen Spirit was number one. But
I
if you
believe
think,
All Star was track 5 on the Smash Mouth album Astro Lounge.
yeah, there you
Do you
go.
know that that's the same producer as I'm spacing on his name right now as Third Eye Blind?
Eric Valentine.
Yeah, Eric Valentine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You watch his interview with Rick Beato?
No, but
Worth it.
I've read interviews with him, and
Yeah.
it's cool,
That's
cool
cool.
dude.
Yeah, he is a cool dude.
Do you guys remember the band Space Hog?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That song that in the meantime is cool. I just
Didn't they do
listened to that.
Space Lord? Right? Is that them, right?
No,
Space Lord, mother.
that's a different band.
Oh, okay.
Space Hog did We Love the All in You.
Yeah.
Space Lord is by Monster Magnet, Brady.
That's it. That's it.
That was a little too Rob Zombie for me, Braid. A little Power Man 5000, like,
That song rocked.
yeah. Would you do like a Monster Magnet Carnival cruise? Like maybe featuring, Rob Zombie as the headliner, and like, who else would be there? Power Man 5000 would be like the warm-up act, and
Could you imagine what that cruise smells like?
like a puddle of mud.
So do we have a new song coming out?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
There it
I gotta go
is.
do another thing. Yeah, we do. John, tell us about it.
I remember very little about the recording process to it, other than it happened about 5 years ago. Does that check out?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
How about you, Braid?
Yeah. This one is how I always viewed this one is classic Minneapolis sound influenced. For me, I remember being in the studio doing some guitars. Um, and I had this one stacked with another one. So I get them a little mixed up.
You
Yeah.
have a nice
Yeah,
tasty whammy bar guitar on this one that really
yeah, this is
added
the whammy.
a
Yeah.
nice surfy kind of textural spawned out element to it that I really like that you put on it. And
Oh, thank you, sir.
John, I loved your drumming. Got a nice big fill in there. I always love fills that are more than, for the 3 and the 4. I think you got a 3-beat fill on here. Maybe it's even a full measure.
I like songs with no drum fills. Not when I'm performing, but just in general. I got a lot of respect for a song with no crash symbol in it.
Okay.
One Headlight by the Wallflowers. Check it out.
Okay. Never heard of that.
You've never heard of One Headlight?
No, I am just kidding. We played it together, man. At Mystic Lake Casino. I'm just joking.
This one, Josh, I thought you did a nice job. This one has a nice earworm. I thought it was
Think so?
beautifully written. Yeah,
Yep.
and I think that the production definitely puts it in I always enjoy tunes that the production just puts it in a space, and you're kind of living in that city for those 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it has all the artifacts of that city that make sense.
Yeah.
So I thought you did a nice job with that.
It's fun populating the city once you get this infrastructure built.
Well put.
A little summertime construction going on in that city.
It's too much construction. Why do you have to do it all so
Yeah,
much?
well,
in
it's
3 months?
overproduced.
Overproduced.
Full circle.
Overproduced, never done.
So this track I wrote during the pandemic, and I remember being stuck down in the basement here with a sizable closet full of booze, and I didn't have a lot to do. I was so relaxed for a period of that time. Of course, there was the existential dread, of course, but something about making music, and especially Step Rockets music during that time, was super cathartic for me. And that was kind of a pivotal moment in all of our lives, not just because of the pandemic, because that was around the time that you were about to move, Brady, or you already had moved, and we were kind of in a transition phase from like being a live band to kind of figuring out where this was all going to go with the world and with the band. And one of the things that I kind of allowed myself on this was like, we've always had a little bit of an islandy reggae warm weather influence, and this song I was just like, F it, like I'm just gonna like lean into that, you know what I mean, instead of like kind of like, well, maybe we'll just put like a skank guitar, so I think during the chorus the bass line is very reggae, and there's definitely a skank guitar on it. But then I really loved Natalie put a saxophone solo on the end. I think really puts the a bow on the whole thing. I like that Step Rockets typically put solos at the end of songs, because solos are kind of out of vogue. Maybe they're coming back into vogue. It depends on who you ask. But I think that's a nice little Easter egg at the end of the song, and I think out of all the years that Natalie sat in with us and played with us, it's cool to finally have her on a track. So I also will add this, I think it's probably one of the more it's a song that's more closely related to like maybe Kisser than other tracks that we've put out. I think it'd probably live in like the same kind of world as like Magic, maybe Turning Tides, Kisser, kind of that easy breezy, islandy but pop, that kind of world. So check it out. You got the pre-saves happening right now. If you're listening live, thank you. This little podcast live chat will be living on our YouTube channel if you want to check it out later.
YouTubes, who won't be checking it out? Your children.
Not mine, yeah.
They're not a lot on
Not
YouTube.
today. Not today. Maybe later. um, yeah, but so this is our third single. We're working up to an album, but we're taking a little break. We'll probably be back in October with another one for the fall winter time. We are getting closer to wrapping this album up, but yeah, there's lots more to come. So thanks for joining us on the journey. Any final thoughts, gentlemen, before we wrap it up today?
I think road construction is imperative.
Yeah, well, it is. For sure. For sure.
If you live near trees or grass, enjoy the lushness because not everywhere has grass.
Okay. And
Josh?
my name is Josh. Check out my Yelp profile, and we'll see you in the next live chat.
Good to chat with you guys.
Okay.